I like to ask the big questions here on this show. Today's big question is, how would we know that the White House is in America if not for a giant 100+ foot flagpole flying Old Glory? How would we know that the White House isn't some random embassy in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C.? Yesterday, I think some people were a little alarmed to find Donald Trump just aimlessly wandering around the White House lawn. There's this video, this is some clips from it here, that's like 12 minutes long from C-SPAN of him just wandering around. People were a little bit, what in the hell is Donald Trump doing out there? And then he came out and reporters asked him, what's going on, bro? Are you needing to be checked in to a memory care facility? What's going on, Gramps? For all the talk of Joe Biden just kind of wandering off all the time, Donald Trump sure has made a habit of just wandering off all the time. And he announced to the cameras that he was going to have 2 giant massive flagpoles. So I guess at any time of the day or night, he can go out there and molest the flags like he does on stage at CPAC. And this is him explaining what the justification is. And then I got another clip of further explanation to flummoxed reporters by Caroline Levit. But first, the president himself explaining what he's doing. Stop the clip. What is this? Is he voguing? Is he going back to the 80s or 90s with the Madonna videos? Is that what? Oh, he's losing it. Maybe I'm losing it. Anyway, back to the clip. Let's watch Donald Trump.
We thought you said you were going up to launch for a flag. What was going on?
We're putting up a beautiful, almost 100-foot tall American flag on this side and another one on the other side. 2 flags, top of the line, and they've needed flagpoles for 200 years. It was something I've often said, they don't have a flagpole per se. So we're putting one right where you saw us, and we're putting another one on the other side on top of the mounds. It's going to be 2 beautiful poles. Paid for by Trump. They arrive in about a week or so.
Can you clarify? Did you catch all that? First of all, paid for by Trump. Are we to assume, I guarantee you he's not funding this. This is going to be paid for by taxpayer dollars. Does he think that taxpayer dollars are his slush fund with which to spend money anywhere that he wants? Is that what he thinks? Wouldn't this be something that would fall under fraud, waste, and or abuse of taxpayer dollars? Not a good expenditure, because there are flags all over the White House. We don't need to signal that this is America, everybody. We're putting up a beautiful, almost 100-foot tall American flag. 2 flags, he says, top of the line. You mean not the cheap flags? Are these ones going to be made in America, Donald Trump? Or are you going to buy made in China flags like you sell at your gift shop at Trump Tower in New York City? What's it going to be, bro? And then he says, well, they've needed flagpoles for 200 years. For 200 years, we've needed a 100-foot flagpole. I guess all of the other presidents, the 46, 45 other men who have held the office, they just didn't notice that there was a need for a flagpole of the American flag outside of the American president's house, inside of America, and within the borders of the United States capital of Washington, D.C. I guess it just was an oversight, right? Paid for by Trump. Anyway, here's his propagandist in chief, Caroline Levit, explaining it to also what I think it must be just confused reporters out on the White House complex. Watch this.
Pocket.
I'm sorry?
Can you talk about the motivation behind, as well as the significance of the president's move to install massive American flags?
Oh, the flags. I thought you were referring to the flags be lowered in honor of Pope Francis. Yeah, look, I mean, the president is a real estate developer at heart, and he's always looking for ways to improve the White House complex, not for him, but for future generations, for future presidents. He has some fun ideas for this complex, which we've kept you all apprised of as they have happened and will continue to do. So you can expect to look up, I think, quite soon and see a very big, beautiful American flag, perhaps on the North Lawn and the South Lawn. I think it has yet to be decided. So we'll see you all later. Thanks.
The president is a real estate developer at heart, and he wants to beautify the White House with a giant, gaudy, phallic-like flagpole? What? That's what she said, right? No, it's not for him. Oh, no. Lest you think that these additions to the White House are for him. No. They're for future generations, future presidents. And rest assured, Donald Trump has some fun ideas for the White House. With Donald Trump's decorating taste, with his dysfunctional idea of what is classy, I cannot imagine what other fun ideas he has. This is where you come in. I want to hear what your fun ideas or what you think his fun ideas will be. Comment below, or you can call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button below for $2 a month, become a channel member right here on the YouTube. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. All these are great ways to help support the work. You can also go to dollemore.com, check out merch and stickers and totes and mugs, and I guess all that's merch, right? We also just published a book about gratitude. It's a children's book, but it's also a great book that you could gift to your adult parents. Very important right now. Anyway, all that, dollemore.com. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another. Many of you are aware that my dear friend and brother of choice, not of blood, Brett McAfee, suffered a near fatal medical emergency last summer while our families were on vacation in Scotland. I appreciate to no end the outpouring of support for Brett that you all gave. And I'm also very happy to report that he is safe and healing and working that long path of recovery. What I've probably not told you about Brett is that beyond being an excellent friend, he's also a talented writer. We have been the best of friends since we were kids, and I have been continually inspired by his creativity and by the truly singular take that he has on life. Over 2 decades ago, he wrote a poem called The Grateful Child. It's an acknowledgement of all the simple strengths that we tend to overlook. Written from the perspective of a young person, multiple grateful children express gratitude to their parents for the elements that make them who they are. The accounting of these everyday gifts inspires a clear reminder that we should not take anything for granted. I've shared Brett's remarkable poem with numerous people over the years, and a reoccurring response is that this should be a book. Well, we finally decided to listen to those people. The Grateful Child is not only a children's book for adults in your life, it's also an adult's book for children in your life. Everyone will appreciate its straightforward yet elegant celebration of life's little endowments. Click the link below to pre-order now, or simply scan this QR code and order your copy or copies today. But this being an illustrated book, we could not survive on the words alone. To pair with Brett's touching words, we searched all over for an illustrator who could bring the Grateful Child to visual life. We landed on somebody right here in the community from this show. Leah Farshid is an internationally acclaimed illustrator who, like you, is also an audience member. The moment we saw the first images that Leah drew to accompany Brett's text, we knew we had a perfect combination. It brings me tremendous joy to share my best friend's beautiful poem and Leah's spectacular images with the world. Everyone can benefit from The Grateful Child, just as I benefit from Brett's lifelong friendship. Share this beautiful book with your children. Share it with your parents or other relatives. The Grateful Child is an easy and exceptional way to show appreciation for someone in your life, young or old. Support someone you love and support this channel by giving The Grateful Child. Click the link below to pre-order now or simply scan this QR code. I am pretty sure your children need a copy. And your mom, your nieces, and your nephews, your Grandpa Charlie too. Don't forget Grandpa Charlie. I think he'd love this. Make The Grateful Child a part of your life. It has been such an excellent part of mine.